Hi, welcome to the Organic Kitchen. I'm Linda Spiker, and today we are going to caramelize pecans. So caramelizing pecans is easy, but it does require a little bit of technique. You only need three things: 3 tablespoons of butter, 1/3 cup sugar, and 1 cup pecans, or if you prefer, you can use walnuts. Both pecans and walnuts roast really well. We're going to put our butter into a pan and let it melt before we add our pecans. We want to keep our heat at medium. This will allow our sugar to melt and our pecans to toast without burning. So just be patient if it takes a little while. It can take a few minutes. So we're going to take our raw pecans. We start with raw nuts because we're going to toast them as we caramelize them. We're going to add them to our butter. We're just going to give them a little flip. And I'm going to show you how to do the flip in a minute. We want to flip our pecans so that they are evenly covered with butter, and later we'll flip them again when we put the sugar on. Caramelizing pecans is fun. It can be a little bit tricky. Don't be discouraged if you lose some of the pecans on your first few tries. Also, don't be discouraged if you burn your sugar on the first few tries. People often tell me they don't succeed the first 2 or 3 times they try. So be patient, it'll come. So we're going to make sure our pecans are well coated with butter and well toasted before we add our sugar. And I'm going to teach you the technique of the flip. So this is how we do the flip. We pick up our pan, and if your pan is heavy for you, you can use 2 hands. But we give the pan a little shake and we move the pecans back and forth from the back to the front of the pan. And as they approach this front lip, you see they just want to flip. So you just give your pan a little more oomph and the pecans naturally flip toward you. We're going to keep roasting our pecans until they're slightly brown. We want them to be toasted and kind of crunchy when we eat them. So if we put the sugar on too soon, they won't be crunchy enough. So we want to make sure they're nicely toasted. I like to use caramelized pecans in my salads and in my oatmeal in the morning, and I always make more than I think I need because people come by and take them straight out of the pan. They'll store nicely in your pantry inside a Tupperware or a baggie for about a month. So make a lot while you're making them. Okay, so these look like they're ready for their sugar. They're nicely toasted brown, they're evenly coated with butter, they're nice and hot so they'll melt our sugar. So we're now just going to take our 1/3 cup light brown sugar and we're going to sprinkle it onto our pecans. I like to use just regular C&H light brown sugar. I find it melts the best. I have tried organic sugars and they tend to clump up. So we'll sprinkle the pecans or the walnuts or whatever nuts you prefer with our brown sugar, and we'll let it sit for a few seconds and melt. I do have to say that pecans and walnuts work the best for this technique because they have nooks and crannies that hold onto the sugar and the butter. Smoother nuts like almonds or cashews tend to do better in the oven. So our pecans are nicely toasted, our sugar is melting, our butter looks great. As soon as the sugar is melted, we're going to just pour our pecans onto a plate and allow them to cool. If you wish to use them quickly, let's say you made a salad and you didn't think ahead and caramelize your nuts ahead of time, you can pop these into the refrigerator or the freezer, and in a few minutes, they'll be cool enough to put on your salad. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you'll visit my online store, theorganickitchenstore.com.